Hey guys, Seth Fuller, your favorite lawyer here. Today's video was easy to figure out what to do. Kyle Rittenhouse is back in the news. I've done videos of him. You can check those out here. But essentially, the district attorney has made a motion to revoke his bond based on him living in a safe house, living in another address than what was given the court for his bond documents. Now, it's a big no-no to falsify bond documents. Kyle Rittenhouse's defense team says it's because he was unsafe, that there were threats against his life. Now, personally, I have seen threats on the internet against Kyle, whether they were like specific or what. I know that there is a lot of people, and you do too, know that there's a lot of people who would love to hurt or kill Kyle. But it's still a no-no to put that on your bond documents. You're essentially lying to the court and could be considered perjury depending on what you signed and whether it was official or not. Anyways, the DA is saying that this is a violation of his bond and that because the money was raised by somebody else, by some unknown benefactors, that it doesn't ensure that he'll come back to court, and that basically he's breaking the rules, so they should increase, or basically they want to put him back in jail. Now, the one problem I have with this whole thing is that the district attorney refuses to not make his address public, saying that there's a long history of their state making court documents public, and that unless there was a specific threat, a specific viable threat, that they won't agree and they don't want his address to be non-public. Now, here's a few things that I guarantee you. First, the DA's office has not sent detectives to a defendant's house in a single other case that he has to check on their address to make sure they're living where they do. They rely on bondsmen to do that, or the bond holders who post the bond to make sure they'll get back. We're not talking about him possessing firearms here. We're talking about where he lives. 2, the DA, who is saying that they don't think that there's a real threat to Kyle Rittenhouse, when personally I have seen threats against him on the internet. Personally, I have seen people threatening Kyle Rittenhouse, so I can't imagine what they have seen. But the DA is discounting those and saying that his safety is not in danger, when I guarantee you the DA has cases with less viable threats that they are prosecuting the people who made those threats. Now, this is an important point because the DA refuses. Listen carefully. The DA refuses to not make the address public. Why would the DA do that? Why would that not be a very easy thing for the DA to do? Is say, yes, okay, we get it, all right, but yeah, we'll raise your bond, but we'll make your new address non-public. No, the DA says it has to be public. What is the reason behind that? And I'll tell you, it's politics. Plain and simple. He doesn't care about keeping this young man safe because he thinks his constituents and the people who vote for him will not vote for him if he doesn't get tough on Kyle Rittenhouse. And he's probably right. Now, having said all that, I'll caveat it with this. It's impossible to disentangle the politics at this point. There is no doubt he wouldn't be able to afford a 7-figure bond or even close without this being political. There's questions about whether he would have been arrested, about what the bond would be, about what the charges would be. All of that stuff is framed already within these politics. And that's the unfortunate part. So while I can complain about what the DA is doing now is political, I also have to acknowledge that everything to this point is political, and therefore to pick this one thing might be a little silly. But sometimes I'm a little silly. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.